10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantasy, Violence, Blood, Mind, Language. Oh, it's Hogwarts. It's Dobby. It's it. The Chef of Gryffindor. Snack. Hufflepuff. Oh, Peeves. Oh, man kann einfach so durch den Wald. Incendio.
Ich weiß, dass es dieselbe Vorschau ist wie beim letzten Mal.
Es ist mir scheißegal. Oh, Tag-Nacht-Wechsel. Oh, geil. Oh.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and I'm honored to introduce you to our panel today. First up, we have community guest host Ben Snow.
Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much for having me.
And from the Avalanche team, we have game director Alan Tu.
Hello everybody.
Oh, Alan Tu ist wieder dabei.
Hi.
And
Das sieht so
finally,
glücklich
just
aus.
on-screen capturing
Ja.
gameplay for us, Andrew
Freut sich wieder so.
Und Andrew ist wieder dabei.
The open world via broom flight, a deeper look at combat using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, and a look at your personalized home within Hogwarts requirement, where we may even see some beasts.
Beasts!
And we're starting right where we left off in the last gameplay showcase, just outside Hogwarts, which I love that you can walk out of the castle after walking through everything, and then just
Oh my god!
And Alan, I know that's something that you particularly like about Hogwarts Legacy too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just being able to hop on the broom and, and go anywhere. There's something about kind of like the sensation of everything being open to you, and just I love the proximity that I can get to things. I love flying close to the ground. And I kind of wanted to talk about it just because I feel like, you know, the brooms are fun for me, not just because of all those feelings of exhilaration, but because they're not just, I have a broom and it's done. I actually kind of like some of the mechanics in it. So you see in the lower right, there's a meter there, and occasionally as Andrew's kind of flying up or flying down, you might notice it draining or not. And this isn't the present day where all the broom technology is well known.
Oh, da ist einer gegangen.
Da ist einer gegangen mit Mütze, mit Hut.
Know and love. This is an earlier time where they're still trying to figure out, you know, we're not at the 3000 yet. We're at the 11.
Kann man das irgendwie ändern?
I'm just so speechless right now because it's just so beautiful. The world just looks so. By the way, the broom, is that like the only one, or can you like upgrade that broom to go faster?
Yeah, so we have a shop in Hogsmeade, actually a broom shop, and so that sells a variety of different brooms.
Es gibt verschiedene
It was important to us that the player could customize themselves based on their own aesthetic. So they're purely cosmetic, but if you talk to the shopkeep and help him out, he'll actually sell upgrades.
Yeah, and those upgrades will make it so that where normally the broom, you can only fly, you can only go at max speed. It's kind of like a turbo meter down there. You can only go at max speed without the meter going down, kind of closer to the ground. And as you raise into the air, you'll notice the meter drop. And so those upgrades will allow you to increase that distance from the ground. And the broom owner at the Sporting Goods store in Hogsmeade
Du kannst dich dauerhaft so schnell fliegen.
Du hast
so
and know it better, and you can
Ding, was abläuft.
that and get
Rechts ist gelbe.
And I love that mechanic encourages you to actually explore the world and kind of stay close to the ground.
Wie riesig das alleine schon ist. Guck dir das mal an, wie viel der da rumfliegt.
High over everything, although it is beautiful, something I really love doing, but as well, there's lots to explore on the ground.
My
and so kind of keeping you down at the ground level.
And to me, it feels like it's got this kind of surfing vibe over the.
Oh my god! Like I'm just like I want to snatch the controller from Andrew right now because I want to go to the mountaintop, I'm going to the forest, and to that hamlet, or
Da ist noch was.
That's how it's called. I think that's what it is.
No, it's awesome. We're actually
Wie
gonna.
riesig
I feel like when you call it a hamlet, is just
beim
perfect
ASMR
to refer to that. And so. We all know from lore that Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village within Britain. We wanted other opportunities
Das
to
sind
kind of
Leute!
other characters out here and to kind of populate the landscape, so it's not just kind of, you know, barren as you leave out this direction and that direction. And so we just imagine these different dwellings, these different smaller locations that wizards might live in out in the.
Du kannst einfach tippen. einen Tipp geben?
And so we refer to those as hamlets, and they're opportunities to learn those wizard stories, how those different locations have kind of like learned to live, what their relationships
sieht alles so geil aus.
Oh mein Gott, Nico, können wir das danach nochmal analysieren? Langsam. Ich habe beim Fliegen fast nichts gesehen, weil ich so excited war.
And each one of those represent gameplay in the hamlets that you can participate in. You know, whether it's a vendor or different puzzles and challenges or different secrets that exist. Each one of those icons are different opportunities for gameplay. And you'll notice that same thing as we venture out into the open world as well. So when you go out into the open world and you see those icons, whether they're on the mini-map or on your map or off in the distance, those things are opportunities to say, like, I want to...
Wie die Sonne einfach durch die Bäume kommt.
They're puzzles left behind by old wizards, you know, that you can solve that actually grant you those. If you see ruins off in the distance and you visit them, you might find opportunities to actually expand and learn about your ancient magic. And as you kind of encounter different enemies dotted on the landscape, sometimes those characters, poachers or dark wizards, might be hoarding different magical resources that are valuable to you as you're playing the game. So each one has kind of like a way to connect to our gameplay loops and provide different
Kannst du einfach hinsetzen
just kind of reward you for
und ein Butterbier trinken.
I mean, I right away want to just cover all of those points on the map just by going over there.
Well, we've flown on a broom already, but there is something that we haven't done so far, and that is getting on our flying mount.
Yeah,
we're gonna hop on our Onyx Hippogriff.
Onyx Hippogriff
is our pre-order bonus.
Oh my god!
Oh mein Gott!
Oh wait, you can use it as a horse.
Du kannst einfach damit reiten oder damit fliegen.
As a hippogriff, you can
Oh, komm mal!
And you can lift off into the air. And we tried to make sure
einfach über den See, wie Harry.
Each of those interactions, so the broom's really good at reaching that top speed, at kind of traveling the world as quickly as possible. But sometimes it's really nice to get on the hippogriff because of that ground speed or those transitions. And sometimes it just feels amazing
Hello,
just
magic
to
sheep.
be riding around on a hippogriff. Yeah, it really is kind of like I don't know, it's a great feeling being on it, and it's a great feeling managing those transitions.
Oh mein Gott, das ist so schön. Ich werde nie mit dem Besen fliegen.
And just being able to go wherever you want. And we tried to make sure that each one of these things that you can interact with have a unique identity and a reason for being.
Da gibt's irgendwelche speziellen Missionen.
Like I see like different like areas.
Will dir einen Namen geben.
Area. By the way, can you go to like entire map anywhere you go? Or there are regions that are like locked from you?
Yeah, as soon as you, there's kind of a moment where the world kind of opens up to you outside of Hogwarts as a student, and right from that moment, early on in the game, you can go wherever you want. And so you might find more difficult challenges.
Kannst du überall hingehen.
And you'll see different spots as Andrew's moving around.
Aber in einem bestimmten Punkt kannst du überall hingehen.
Ja, aber ganz am Anfang vom Spiel.
And we've got different types of environments out in the
Muss
world.
ja wahrscheinlich irgendwie so wie so ein Tutorial durchspielen, und wenn du dann durch bist, kannst du alles machen.
Wahrscheinlich auch, wenn du in die Gegend fliegst, wo du einfach unterlevelt bist oder so, bist einfach platt gemacht.
Rustic, like I keep forgetting that this is like 1800s. The Wizarding World we've never really seen before. Like it feels so authentic. Like it's part of it.
Yeah, I love this vista too, and
Das ist eine Mühle.
I'm gonna have Andrew stop here. We're gonna use a bit of dev magic to change the seasons. Actually, I want you to see what this world looks like.
Oh! Ja! Schnee! Komm schon!
Ja! Show me the snow!
Please, waiting, entering dev comments. Oh!
This is so beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Leute! Ich will spielen!
Oh my god, it changes the landscape like completely. Oh my god. Does it have like actual like gameplay impact? Like impact on the gameplay? Or does it like it's just the weather of Scotland?
Yeah, we really use it as a narrative marker through the game. So as you're progressing through your main storyline, it was important for us to kind of like have those moments that kind of felt like when you're reading the books or watching the movies, where you know you'll see kind of like the title card winter.
Du kannst überall einfach drüber fliegen. Schau dir das mal an.
You're really feeling that passage of time while you're a student, you know, going.
Ich will das spielen jetzt.
And I think we
Und nie
want
wieder
to
aufhören.
duplicate that. And for me, it's really fun that it's not just on the outside, which I agree. I think it looks really beautiful. But within the school as well. So there are moments like when it reaches certain holidays or things like that, where Hogsmeade reacts to holidays and the school reacts to holidays, and you see the decorations around those environments change.
Dekorationen!
Help just kind of make me feel like I'm there. and it's not just you know for the seasons those kind of bide things.
Einfach fliegen und alles von oben
Like we
angucken.
have a day-night cycle.
Bei Fliegen brauchst du auch nur den linken Stick, das heißt, es ist easy.
Similarly, like it's largely about vibe. When you go into Hogsmeade in the evening, there's less characters there. Around the school, you'll notice it kind of dies down and quiets down just when there's just candlelight and students kind of like as you're walking through the halls. But in that day-night cycle is where we've kind of placed a few items where, you know, whether or not you can collect them or whether or not you can interact with them that are a little bit restricted by the day-night cycle.
And I love Andrew's flying up here, really high up on the hippogriff. And we're just looking at this view of Hogwarts in the distance.
Oh.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's part of what I
Aber
love
das ist zu
most
Hause.
about flying around in this game, whether it's on a hippogriff or on the broom.
No, I mean, you talk about going anywhere and things that you can see in the distance, and that's one of my, I still can't get over, like, no matter, I played this so much, but I still can't get over the fact that I can see Hogwarts out there, and there's just something beautiful about knowing that all of the things inside of it, the classrooms, the students, the professors, all the places I can go, I can just fly my hippogriff, land in the courtyard, enter the front doors, and just walk, you know, to the
Aber auch auf dem
library, to
Testral
class,
kannst du
to
bestimmt
my
auch
common
reiten
room,
und
that it's
fliegen.
all contiguous and just kind of like one space is still exciting to me after all.
I mean, I'm just
Kannst du bestimmt
I'm
auch reiten und
speechless right
fliegen.
now. It's just
Das wär geil.
absolutely beautiful. It's just
Bestimmt.
As much as we
Aber
want to
Testral?
spend a lot more
Wenn
time
da
out
auch
here just
reiten geht,
flying
dann-
around, experiencing the
Haben wir
world,
Testrale?
Die haben
I think
Mit
this is a
Vorbesteller
great
schon?
opportunity to
Mit der
switch over to
Deluxe.
combat. And last time we gave you kind of an intro to
Also bei der
combat.
Deluxe
This time
ist das
we're gonna
dabei.
really
Der ist ja
go, a lot more of a deep
Vorbestellerbonus, der
dive on
Hippogriff.
using the Dark Arts Battle
Und
Arena, which is part of our Deluxe Edition.
Ding ist ja Dark Arts.
All right, Andrew's got us in the Forbidden Forest, which is where the Dark Arts Battle Arena is, which is part of the Deluxe and Digital Deluxe Edition. I love the way that the Dark Arts Battle Arena is actually part
Ja,
of the
aber
world.
Leute
mit der-
Leute mit der Standardedition können das trotzdem nachkaufen.
Choosing an option from
Ja.
the main
Ja,
menu
stand
of
da
the
gerade.
game or something like that.
Ja.
Reason to go to the Forbidden Forest.
Exactly.
Das ist aber
Well,
schon
there are
warm
many
gekommen.
reasons to go.
Ja,
to
ja,
the
nee, aber stand dann
Forbidden
extra
Forest.
nochmal.
He's also wearing the Dark Arts cosmetic set, and here he's pulling out
Ja,
his
ja,
Destro, which is
Oh!
part of that Dark Arts pack from the Deluxe and Digital Deluxe Edition. So we're going full Dark Arts here.
that's good. That's what I like doing.
But I like this this battle arena.
Oh my
It is a great place to
gosh.
show off really combat in a big way because it unlocks some interesting abilities for you and allows you to really play around with combat in a deep way.
And is this like the only arena like this in the game where you can like practice? And
Yeah,
do...
so in the base game we have 2 combat arenas normally, and so everyone has access to those. And each of
Wie
the
in
combat
the
arenas
base
are an
game?
opportunity to kind of just go through a difficult combat challenge.
Das heißt,
fight
in the
through
base
multiple
game?
waves in order
Standard game.
to earn a different cosmetic for your character and add that to your collection.
Was heißt denn ein Base
In the
Game?
case of that's no different
Ja,
than
aber-
DLCs?
the Dark Arts.
Ja, das
Battle
hat sich
Arena,
für mich
that's
jetzt gerade so
also
angehört.
the combat arena.
Vielleicht ist ja diese Dark
But,
Arts, also neben dieser Dark Arts vielleicht noch
one
andere.
of the
Also in der
things that we're
Schule ist ja
excited about the
eine.
Dark Arts Battle
Das
Arena
ist
that
ja diese-
people can do
Ja, die Dark
is-
Arts ist ja die, die
is
du nur
you
mit...
come in preloaded with
mit
different
dem-
abilities.
Ja.
So
Die
höheren.
the unforgivable
Deluxe.
curses are something that everyone's going to have access to through the base game and going to be able to earn, and they can make choices in order to kind of like add that to their repertoire.
Oh, die ganzen
And they can
Zauber,
also
die zeigen die
switch
nicht.
that down
Mhm.
with certain talents and things like that. When you play the Dark Arts
Die
combat
können
arena,
einfach
you
nicht.
actually have
Die
access
können
to all
nicht.
those things as kind of like a way to test them all.
Ich habe halt
And
null
so it's a chance
Connection
to kind of like
zu irgendwas
tour
davon.
and play with the Dark Arts
Wie?
and decide whether or not that is a path. that
Gab's
you
bei dem
kind of
bösen
want to go.
Hufflepuff? Nö.
But yeah,
Nico.
everyone has the same
Ich.
ability to explore the Dark Arts. This is just kind of like a way of
Salty Hufflepuff.
And again, a great place for us to show off combat in general.
Es
so
kommen
I
einfach
think we're gonna
immer Wellen von
jump
Monster.
in
Ja,
here
wusste
and
ich
just gonna
doch.
start
Wave 1.
battling, and we can start talking about everything you're seeing on the screen.
All right. Oh, they just about to get out right
Alter.
away.
Er
Oh
sieht
my
einfach Avada Kedavra aus dem
Starting
Leben.
off strong.
Ja.
Is that was that Crucio?
Ja, was war das jetzt für einer? Das war der rote.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so that
Also links ist
you'll
Crucio,
notice
oder
right
was?
away, like when we use Avada
oben.
Kedavra, that
Ja,
guy's
diese
health bar
Peitsche
went
war gerade
from
Crucio,
instant
oder?
to 0, and we really are trying to honor the way Avada Kedavra works in the game, even in some pretty extreme situations. You'll notice that like the meter takes up a lot longer to
Yeah,
kind
little
of
cooldown.
build up as a way to
Ja,
kind
das
of
wird so
deal
schwer für
with
dich, diese
its
ganzen
extreme
Kombi.
power, just so that it's still fun to use. And then
ganzen
there's
Kombos, ja.
some ways that we'll probably talk about to adjust that. But I don't know.
Wenn du Story spielst, wahrscheinlich ist ja alles easy.
Well, like I see like little blue things pop up from the enemies. Also, like that sign. Well, it's like so in the community we call it the ancient magic sign. I don't know if that's how it's called.
Yeah,
in the game.
So the community is astute. So on the development side and in player facing in the game, we reference that as your ancient magic community.
Das unten mit diesen ganzen Nadeln in der Hand.
That is, yeah. So as your abilities in the game keep growing and you become exposed to some of the secrets about your own kind of history and your own abilities, you start unlocking new powers. So one of those powers, you'll see the R1 button appearing throughout the game. That's an ancient magic throw, we call it, that allows you to kind of like draw an object to you and fling it at an enemy. But whenever you see the R1 or the L1 plus R1 appear over somebody's head, that's an ability to cast a very devastating and powerful ancient magic spell to do a ton of damage against the character. And the way that manifests itself depends on the type of enemy that you're fighting. And you'll see a wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways. You'll notice there's abilities that kind of bubble up under the player that force you to move. And there's different ways that we want the player to kind of move around on the battlefield. And that's actually a good link to the ancient magic meter in general. And the reason why I say that is because as you're doing different things in combat,
du musst es aber auch meinen. Weißt du, du willst den Gegner töten mit der
different ways to get that meter to build faster and faster. So one of the most effective base ways to build up that meter fast, that way you can launch these devastating attacks whenever you want to, is to actually perform combos. So you see that combo appearing, and it's almost like your emotions.
Das ist gerade eine 15er Combo-Streak,
that you can attack someone. But as the combo meter builds up, at some point you strike someone and a piece of their magic kind of falls out of them. You'll see the blue orbs in the game world, and there's something that only you can see in the narrative, in the world. And it's another reason to move around on the battlefield. If you can go up and collect those things and suck them in, they give big jumps to that ancient magic meter as we're playing.
We're talking a lot about spells and magic here, but I think there's another huge component of combat, and that is the tools that you can bring to combat as well to kind of change the way you play. And I think Mackenzie knows a lot about what's going on with the plants and potions.
And so the tools are really interesting because they're basically like a prior investment. So you can bring the potions and the plants that you grow in the room of requirements to combat to essentially kind of help you defeat enemies a lot quicker and more efficiently. So some of the tools that you'll see here are like the rock skin potion. So that is something that basically covers your skin in this like rocky material that reduces the incoming damage that you're receiving. So against big enemies, hard-hitting enemies like trolls, that's super helpful.
Oh my god, he's just destroying. The troll just collapsed from what?
Avada Kedavra.
Obviously, we have the Wiggenwell potion as well, which increases your health.
Einfach
and
ein
then we have
Bergtroll
the
so
focus
instant
potion. So when
death.
Alan talks about having to balance Avada Kedavra with a long cooldown, because obviously it's an instant kill, one thing that you could do is brew a focus potion, and that will increase how quickly your cooldowns regain.
Right.
Aber ein bisschen ausweichen und dann nochmal Avada Kedavra machen.
Versatility, like in what the character is doing to the troll right now, like he's just bouncing around the arena. He's like not, and the troll makes him move around too. Looks like.
And I love that our plants are violent.
Yes, and so that's like when we're talking about the setup of the arena, you also have plants that you can fight with. And so we have things like the venomous tentacula that you can put down, and it acts like a turret, and it just kind of shoots enemies around the battlefield.
That is so cool. This is like a truly like Hufflepuffian way to approach the battle. Yes.
Gleich kommt noch Room of Requirement.
These like multiple ways, and so you can see there's a ton of different things you can
Aber Kampfsystem sieht auch nice aus.
Is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cry these enemies in a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique way. I don't want to get stuck in my style, you know? And so this is a way to, if you want to get stuck in your style, go for it. If you just want to blast people with spells, go for it. But we also want to have some things over here that may make you use certain plants or certain potions or block more or...
Yeah, we mentioned the field guide challenges in the prior stream. And the field guide challenges, this is the way that the field guide manifests like challenges for you to do in combat.
Ja, einfach das Spiel durchspielen ohne Avada-Kedavra zu benutzen.
Encourage players to explore the different systems, to help them decide, to just kind of practice with them and explore what they want to do, because there really are so many different ways that you can push talents. When you see the green X's on characters,
right,
and that's kind of through your talents you can unlock this kind of cursing mechanic that sort of like links the fates of these different characters on the battlefield. That way, as you get as you're cursing different characters,
Deshalb einmal ist man direkt böse.
And so
ich weiß nicht, ich glaube, das funktioniert wie bei Fable, du bist dann nicht direkt komplett böse.
And so, oh my God, there are dark arts fantasies. There's fantasies about being more of a defense against the dark arts characters, things like that misty step that you see occasionally being used on the battlefield. And we can also spec into our potions and plants to make them more powerful and more efficacious. So it's all about which type of player you feel like you are and whether or not you want to play with prep, on the fly, or with deliberation, and those are all different options.
Kampfsystem ist auch gerade nicht so deins. Ist gerade nicht so. Ist gerade nicht so dabei bei dem Kämpfen.
Nee, ich habe gerade nicht aufgepasst, weil irgendwie bist du nicht in der Kategorie mit drin.
That ancient magic, to be honest, feels like much more powerful than just the dark arts.
Yeah. And speaking of plants and potions, we're going to be putting the dark arts away, put those unforgivable curses away.
Entscheidet sich bei diesen krassen Kampfszenen definitiv vielleicht.
Which is your home within Hogwarts, a personalizable space that actually has some utility as well, where you get to brew things and grow things and also care for some beasts. All right, Andrew's got us in the room of requirement.
Jetzt geht's los.
We kind of went casual mode on the outfit here, wearing a nice jumper. And I think that's a good jumping off point for the personalization of the space as well. Not just your character and the visuals of your character, but actually this space is a place that you can make your own.
Yeah, it was super important to us that this space really did feel like your reflection as a wizard. So you can change the architecture in here.
What?
Different themes throughout, starkly different themes, to really just hammer home that this is yours.
Oh my God!
Kannst aber die Decke ändern.
This is beautiful. We never expected that to be. Oh my God.
Definitiv botanic.
That's the thing, is not only can you change the architecture here, but you can actually conjure little objects into this space, as you can see. So there's like statues that you can do, and ornaments, and tables, and rugs, and just a bunch of little things that really flesh out the space and bring it to life.
Oh my goodness, because like we had an idea that those places where you brew stuff, that's where you can change, but you can do all of this. Where do you even get this stuff? Like, there's a furniture store?
Yeah, so we call them conjurations. And the conjuration recipes can be purchased at Tomes and Scrolls in Hogsmeade. But also as you engage in different types of gameplay throughout the world, you'll be rewarded.
Ich will einen Ohrensessel haben. Farben, alles ändern.
You can change the color, you can change the size of it, and you can place it basically anywhere.
Jetzt die Größe.
It's like for Baby Niffler.
And I love how the system too is designed. It's not mechanical, it's immersive. And so you get the magical effect of conjuring it in.
Ich werde halt nur dekorieren da
you're actually doing this
also
in
die
the
erste
world
Woche da
as your
drin dekorieren,
character, but
dann eine Woche fliegen.
the way you've blended.
Vielleicht muss er auch spielen, um neue Sachen freizuschalten, neue Möbel.
Design of personalizing the space.
Oh my God, like, and I love the animation, how it like appears, you know, like it's not just like there, it's like it almost like it apparates.
It is really quite beautiful, and that was the thing, is we wanted that to look really nice, because
Kann man noch
the magic
hochgehen?
in the wizarding world is everywhere. It's physical, it's kinetic, and it's whimsical. We really wanted to nail that whimsy in space. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is that not only can you like conjure things and you can change their look, but you can do that with the utility objects as well. So you can see that we have planting pots and potion stations, and you can change the look of those as well. And these are the areas where, as we had mentioned previously, you'll be plants, you'll be brewing.
Ja, du kannst die Farbe ändern und
so
ja, aber von allem.
Doing these,
also nicht nur von normalen Möbeln, sondern auch von
also the space,
Sachen, die du benutzt.
Gear,
So.
gear to be identified and gear to have like rates put on it, which I believe Alan can talk to.
Oh, yeah. We keep bringing up appearance and how it looks, and on a, like in the game, you can look like anything you want to whenever you want to. But the player will be finding different types of gear, that we call it, as you progress through the game. And essentially, we just know that clothes and different items in the Wizarding World can have different magical properties.
Nee, upgrade.
And as you explore and as you adventure and as you defeat enemies, you're going to be finding different pieces of gear that have different abilities.
Also hier ist auch die Seltenheitsstufe ist auch weiß, grün, blau, lila und orange.
And so, and not all the time, whenever you get a new piece of gear, you don't necessarily know exactly what it does. And so there is a station inside of the Room of Requirement that you can conjure. It's one of the first things you conjure, called an identification station, where you can actually bring that gear that you're uncertain about and learn what its abilities are.
Right, yeah, that's so cool.
And then as this space advances even further, and the space will eventually grow its own rooms, and you're going to get new recipes, you know, like Mackenzie's talking about, all these different things keep expanding. And as it expands, eventually you're going to earn what we see here, which is called a loom. And when you set up a loom, it's an ability to essentially customize exactly which magical properties are on your gear and take any piece of gear and adjust its properties and to tweak what it does. And I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like anything. The collection of appearances, we call it, or cosmetics, we've been referring to it in this stream. Those types of things you can use, and you can apply a look to any other look. So if you get a piece of gear, you put it on, you look like that, but you can change it to look like whatever you want.
That's so cool. And like you can just put some ability to this sweater, but then you can just swap that ability.
Yep, and appearances you can edit whenever you want in the gear screen. The loom is specifically about applying traits and applying larger upgrades that just kind of grant you greater statistical advantage or give you really specific abilities that blend in nicely with where you're trying to go with your combat fantasy.
Hast du gesehen, was du dafür brauchst? Nifflerpelz.
Interesting. I'm just seeing that.
Musst du dafür Niffler töten?
Pumpkin fur,
Nein!
Fur. What is
Dann bleibe ich der schlechteste Zauberer der Welt.
And so you'll notice that the ingredients that are used to add traits and to upgrade your gear are based around beasts.
Oder sind das Sachen,
die
du looten kannst von deinem Team?
Ja, Beastcare.
Kind of bigger space on the inside. And so you can see here we have a couple of beasts out. We have a graphorn and a mooncalf and a
Das ist Mooncalf!
And a weasel as well. So
Wo ist der Niffler?
Oh mein
Da hinten läuft da ist er!
Ich will!
They're so cuddling! Oh my god, they're together! Oh, that's so cute!
They're adorable. And so part of beast care is petting them as well, but feeding them too. And so once you do those things, that's when they feel safe enough that they can give you their magical ingredients. So mooncalf fur, fur, etc. That can then be used in your gear.
That is like so like because like you know it makes sense because when you touch the animals you get some fur leftovers. That's so. Oh my god.
Yeah, and we really want to hammer home the fact that this is like a home that you're making for them. So in the overland you can find these beast dens and rescue these beasts. Part of doing so is brushing them and feeding them food as well, and to build that relationship with your beasts. In addition to be able to care for beasts, you can actually conjure things in this space as well.
Yeah.
And so we have like a lot of little ornaments in this area, and a lot of them are purely cosmetic, but they look really cool. Again, it's the personalization of this space.
Oh my goodness. This is like, I'm gonna spend 8 hours just designing this whole area to personalize. This is like cool.
Aber es gibt männliche. Heißt es, du kannst sie auch paaren?
Personalized fish tank, so to say. Just for the creatures. I love it.
Yeah, no, totally. And there's like a decoration aspect, but there's also, we were saying inside as well, is there's a utility aspect to it too. So as you
Leute, ich will das Spiel
progress in the
spielen.
game and you're able to purchase more conjurations, you're able to speed
Oh,
up
eine
the process.
Fressstelle!
So one of them, for example, is the food processor, which allows for the beast in the space to automatically get feed, so you don't have to do it manually. And so you're really building the progression for yourself here. In addition, there's also a toy box where you can play with your beasts. And you'll see here, yeah. So you can, there's a bunch of toys in it, and each beast has their own favorite toy. So as you can imagine, the mooncalf really likes the moon ball, or the Neasel, as like a little cat, really likes to chase the yarn ball as well.
Right.
And they're super cute.
Oh my god.
Watching them, it's so cute.
And the big thing we really wanted to hammer home
Ich spiel mit dem
is
Ball.
that the world is a dangerous place. And so by going and rescuing these beasts and bringing them back here and caring for them, you're really helping them out. There's
Ich glaube, es hieß, man kann von seinen Freunden diese Area besuchen, glaube ich. Aber ich bin gerade nicht 100% sicher.
Oh my god, this
Nee.
Raphorn is just gigantic.
Egal. Reicht das für mich?
But he looks like my dog. We can make my dogs right now for sure.
You could actually name them as well.
Rename!
So, like, your dog.
Rename!
So getting back into that personalization, you know, yeah, we didn't want you to just like throw in, oh, here's a Raphorn in here. Like, this can be named whatever Andrew's about to name
Ich muss jetzt
them.
schon Namen sammeln für meine Tiere.
Bruce.
Good name.
You know, we've created this really nice space, and you can get additional vivariums, correct, to different kind of aesthetics and looks to where you're keeping your beasts and caring for them.
Progression is a big part of this space as well. So as you
Man
progress
kann
through
einfach
the story,
alles
you will
überall
unlock more vivariums.
hinstellen
So
und
you can find
ändern.
quite meadow themed, big, open, bright. But there's other ones, say like a swamp that you might encounter. And it's really a visual effect to and more space for your beasts.
Oh, so it's like those. So when we're inside the room requirement, there's like on the left, there's that moon glow from one entrance and then some shrubbery going on in the right. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Ah, oh, you put trees in here too. Oh my goodness.
And another thing with the beast care that I think is great,
Die Größe einfach nochmal
tying back
anpassen.
to the same kind of thing that you
Janine.
did with like the broom, where the broom is not just a method of travel, it's actually built in and
noch 2
integrated into the
Monate.
world. In the same way, like beast care isn't just this added element. You're not just throwing it on top. There's really this like narrative and integration to
everything connects. So as you progress through the
Bist du
missions,
ready,
you'll expand this
Janine?
space.
Meinst du gerade?
As you earn resources, you'll go into Hogsmeade
Hast du
and
feuchte
use
Augen?
them to
Nein.
unlock the gameplay here and unlock
Alles
new
gut.
configurations
2
and
Monate.
things to play around with in the open world. It's in those different environments, like the different combat and conflicts and bandit camps and different things like that exist in the overland. Those things are what hold recipes that exist in the loom. So all these things have a way of connecting. Moonstone that you find out in the world is the resource that we use to conjure everything. That's found throughout the world.
Okay, du brauchst
Forge wolves are
Moonstones,
used
um
for
das alles so
recipes.
zu...
So really everything's like a cycle and keeps you coming back.
But even with the story that's being told too,
Ich würde es geil finden, wenn du in der Welt auch Sachen findest, die du da einsetzen kannst.
Particular affinity for beasts.
Yeah, I
Einfach
mean,
ein
I think
Wunschbrunnen.
everything we're seeing here, you know, you're going to be venturing out into the world, and this is just kind of the tip
Aber
of the
das Mini
iceberg,
machen.
even of kind of like your interactions with beasts in that narrative. So, you know, you bringing up Poppy, there are more
Ich will
kind
das
of
Spiel.
mysteries to discover and things to discover out in the world that have to do with her and that have to do with caring for beasts. And so different characters have their own,
Ich mache aber den
stuff.
kompletten Hufflepuff. Ich kümmere mich nur um die
that
Tiere.
just kind of make this all just kind of like the beginning of your journey.
Well, we could spend hours
geil das
in here,
aussieht.
but we're gonna have to end the stream now. What do you
Nein,
think
was für
about
ein
what you've seen
Stream?
today?
I mean, I'm just so blown away by how beautiful it looks. The open world seems so detailed and there's so many things to do, and like the combat,
Nee,
we're
Magic
gonna
Sheep
spend
wurde
like
nicht verschoben.
2 weeks or
Nur
more
für
just breaking it down by pieces.
Es wurde
PlayStation
für
so
PS4,
much
für Xbox One
to
und
this
für die
world. Like, I'm so
Switch
happy
verschoben.
you guys did this.
Switch auf Juli.
Overall
Switch auf
gameplay.
Juli.
And that's just the
PC,
tip of the
PlayStation
iceberg.
5 und
We've
Xbox Series S,
got more
XS.
for you to discover and find
Normal im
on
Februar.
your own. Thank you so much for being here.
Geil.
Thank you for watching. Hogwarts Legacy is available for pre-order now. It releases February 10th with 72-hour early access for owners of the Collector's, Deluxe, and
Am
Digital
7.
Deluxe edition.
Februar geht's
We're gonna wrap things up,
los.
but first we've got a little surprise for you. Bye.
Oh, jetzt in die Analyse, oder? Was, Surprise?
Shh.
Oh,
Dumbledore. Nein. Lebt der auch gar nicht.
was ist da? Surprise?
Das
Surprise, Motherfucker.
ein Buch. Hä?
Oh.
Hä?
Ist das das Tagebuch?
Ist es das, was später das Tagebuch von Tom Riddle geworden ist?
Hä?
Kannst du damit in die Zukunft reisen? Statt in die Vergangenheit? Kannst du damit überall hinreisen, wo du hin willst? Oh, Leute! Ich weiß auch, wie wir...
Nochmal! Analyse!